Welcome to another episode of Yamu Growth Lab. Did you know that 40 to 60% of users will never log into a SaaS product again after their first day? That's billions in lost revenue because companies mess up those crucial first moments of the user experience.
That's a staggering statistic. What makes companies drop the ball so dramatically in those early moments?
Well, it's fascinating. Most companies actually spend millions developing amazing features, but completely fumble what's called the 3 A's of onboarding: accommodating, assimilating, and accelerating. Think of it like building a luxury hotel, but forgetting to put a front desk in the lobby.
Could you break down those 3 A's a bit more? They sound crucial to getting this right.
So picture it like this. Accommodating is giving users all their essential tools up front. Assimilating is teaching them how to use everything effectively, and accelerating is quickly showing them why your product is worth their time. But here's what's wild. Studies show that 90% of SaaS companies fail at least one of these principles.
Oh wow, that explains why so many apps feel overwhelming when you first open them. What are some of the biggest mistakes you've seen?
The number one killer is what I call the feature fire hose, dumping every single capability on users immediately. Users can only process about 5 to 7 new features effectively in their first session. Anything more than that, and their cognitive load maxes out.
That makes so much sense. What are the companies that get it right doing differently?
They focus on something called progressive disclosure, showing users exactly what they need at each moment. For example, Slack only introduces advanced features like channel management after users have mastered basic messaging. Companies using this approach see up to 80% higher user retention in the first month.
You know, that reminds me of how video games introduce mechanics gradually through early levels. Is there a similar psychology at work here?
Exactly. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, our brain's natural desire to complete unfinished tasks. That's why you'll see progress bars and completion indicators during onboarding. Companies that implement these psychological triggers see a 40% increase in onboarding completion rates.
That's fascinating. How do successful companies balance these engagement tactics with practical concerns like privacy and security?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. The most successful companies integrate trust building naturally into the flow. For instance, Dropbox explains exactly why they need each permission as users encounter them, rather than bombarding them with a wall of privacy policies up front. This approach increases trust metrics by about 60%.
How do they measure whether all these strategies are actually working?
They track something called time to first value, or TTV, basically how quickly users experience their first aha moment with the product. The gold standard is under 5 minutes. Companies that achieve this see retention rates nearly triple compared to those that don't.
That's quite a specific benchmark. What happens when companies miss these marks?
The numbers are pretty brutal. 75% of users who don't reach that first value moment within 24 hours will never return. Companies that implement proper onboarding see their customer acquisition costs drop by up to 50% because satisfied users become advocates.
Sounds like getting this right has massive financial implications. Any final thoughts on where this is all heading?
You know, we're seeing AI and machine learning completely revolutionize onboarding. Imagine personalized flows that adapt in real time based on user behavior. Early tests show this could boost engagement by up to 300%. But the fundamental principle remains the same. Focus on helping users achieve their goals, not just learning features.
Well, this certainly changes how I'll look at every new app I try from now on.
And that's exactly why this matters so much. The difference between success and failure often comes down to those first few minutes of user experience. Get it right and you've got a loyal customer. Get it wrong, and well, they're just another statistic in that 40 to 60% who never come back.
That's it for today's Yamu Growth Lab. Always keep in mind, great onboarding isn't just good UX, it's good business. Turn those first few minutes into lasting relationships or risk losing users forever. Catch you on our next episode.